Good morning Year 4, and this is your literacy video for if you're in my literacy set. So you do your red book work with me on Wednesday the 10th of February. So it doesn't matter which of these books that you've got or which video you've been watching for these books, because on a Wednesday, a Thursday and a Friday we're going to be doing some writing. So if you're with me for literacy, please make sure that you watch my video. Now for reading, we always start our sessions by looking at high frequency words. But for writing, we're going to start our sessions by looking at phonics. Okay, so our activity is called phonic families. And I want you to think of as many ways as you can of making, now make sure you're listening, the E sound. And there are 5 different ways. Have a little think. How many ways are there of making the E sound? Okay, have you had a little think? Have you managed to write any down? Let's have a look then. So, we've got a, E. Okay, and this grapheme comes in the middle of our words. We've got our split digraph E. Makes E. And that grapheme comes in the middle and the end, doesn't it? Because our 2 letters are joined. We've got for E. And that normally comes in the middle of our words. And then the last 2 come at the end of our words. Y for E, Y for E. So these are all different ways of making an E sound. And depending on the word and where the E sound is in that word, depends on which sound you would use. Okay, well done if you managed to get any of those at home. Now this week for our writing, our learning question is asking us to use adjectives to describe a well-known character. Now we've done lots of work on adjectives Year 4. Remember, adjectives are describing words. I could describe this book as yellow and rectangular. I could describe my bubble as pink and soft. I could describe my hoodie as blue and warm. So we're going to be using describing words to describe a character. And the character is from a story that you will all know. And I've put a picture of that character on my board. Does anybody know what animal that is? Okay, so it's a wolf. A wolf. Well done if you got that at home. Can anybody think of a story where one of the characters is a wolf? It's a story you will have heard. Somebody at home with you or in school with you will have heard. Okay, are you ready? So our story is called The 3 Little Pigs. And I'm going to read that to you now. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. The pigs lived in a small house with their mum. One day, their mum sent them off to build their houses of their own. As they walked down the road, the first little pig met a farmer pulling a cart of straw. It looked very warm, just right for building a house. He asked if he could have some. The farmer agreed, and the first little pig began to build his straw house. A little way down the road, the second little pig saw a woodcutter with a cart of sticks. They looked thick and long, just right for building a house. He asked if he could have some. The woodcutter agreed, and the second little pig began to build his wooden house. The third little pig trotted down the road. After a short time, he met a builder pushing a wheelbarrow full of bricks. The third little pig thought to himself, how strong those bricks look. I think they would make an excellent house. So the third little pig asked the builder for some of his bricks, and he began to build a house that was stronger and bigger than the others. Soon, all three little pigs had a house of their own, and they were all very happy. Then, one day, a big, bad wolf came walking along the road. He saw the first little pig in his straw house. With an evil glint in his eye, he knocked on the first little pig's door. Little pig, let me come in, he said. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin, I will not let you in, cried the frightened little pig. Then I will huff, and I will puff, and I will blow your house down, growled the wolf. The wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the straw house down. The first little pig ran all the way to his brother's wooden house. The wolf was soon at the house made of sticks. He knocked at the door. Little pigs, let me come in, he snarled. Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, cried the frightened little pigs. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, growled the wolf. The wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. The two little pigs ran as fast as they could, all the way to their brother's brick house. The wolf was soon at the brick house. He knocked on the door. Little pigs, let me come in, he growled. Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, squeaked the little pigs. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow the house down, roared the wolf in his loudest voice. The wolf huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he could not blow down the brick house. The big bad wolf was very angry. He looked at the house and he saw the chimney. As quick as a flash, he climbed up to the roof and into the chimney. But the big bad wolf was in for a big surprise. The third little pig had been making soup, and there was a big pot boiling on the fire. The wolf slid down the chimney and landed right in it. Splash! With a loud howl, the foolish wolf jumped out of the pot, ran out of the house and off down the road. The three little pigs cheered loudly. The big bad wolf was never seen again, and the three little pigs lived happily ever after. Okay, so well done for following along at home, Year 4. I told you it was a story that you already knew. Well done for joining in if you knew any of the parts. Because today we're going to be describing some different parts of our character of the wolf, the big bad wolf. We could start by describing his ears on the top of his head, or his eyes, his teeth, or his nose. We could also describe the fur, the tail, the legs, or the claws on the bottom of his paws. So what you're going to do for me now, Year 4, is using your yellow book, so you might want to turn to the first page or your next blank page if you've already started some work in here. And you're going to draw me your very best wolf. And the wolf is going to be in the middle of your page, just like it is in my board. Okay, so there's my wolf, and I've got to now come up with some adjectives to describe him. Remember, we've already thought of some of the parts that we could describe, so now we've got to think of some adjectives to describe these parts, and I'm going to start with his fur. So please watch what I'm doing, because this is what I want you to do in your yellow book. So, I just need some adjectives to describe his fur. Now, his fur looks fluffy. So I'm going to write fluffy. Fluffy. That's one of our E sounds from earlier, year 4 as well. Remember using a Y. But I don't want one adjective, I want 2 adjectives. So fluffy, comma, fluffy. How else could we describe that fur, year 4? Fluffy, brown. He's got brown fur. Fluffy, brown. Fluffy, brown fur. Brilliant. Okay, let's have a go at another part. I'm going to describe his teeth. How could we describe the wolf's teeth? Sharp. Don't forget to include your comma here for sharp. What about dangerous? That's a very good word. Dangerous. Teeth. Okay, and I want you now to describe some different parts of the wolf. And I want you to come up with 5 all together. Okay, so you're going to come up with 5. I've already done 2 for you. You might want to pause the video whilst you complete this part of your activity. Okay, and I'm going to now use this to help me to write some sentences describing our wolf. So, just going to go underneath the picture, just like you're going to do in your yellow book. And there. Making sure I've started with a capital letter year 4. The wolf has fluffy comma brown fur. Full stop. Let's check it makes sense. The wolf has fluffy brown fur. His sharp comma dangerous teeth are terrifying. And I want you to carry on year 4 until you've got 5 sentences about the wolf. And remember to use your adjectives that are around your picture to help you. Now, once you've done those 5, I want you to use my sentence checker to help you. So think, has your first sentence hasn't got its capital letter? If it has, you're going to put a tick. Did you use your finger spaces? Did you remember your comma between your two adjectives? Did you use a full stop? And did you check it to make sure that it makes sense? Because you've done 5 sentences, you should have 5 ticks in each of the boxes. And if you've forgotten something year 4, now's your time to look back through those sentences. And just to finish today's learning, we're going to do a self-reflection splat. So I'm going to splat one of my colours and I want you to answer the question. So, this one. Which part of the wolf did you enjoy describing? Don't forget to take a picture and send it to the Year 4 email address.